And this is actually a VMC Tokyo rig, and I have it rigged with two VMC 3/16 ounce tungsten weights like that. It's fall with real cloudy over conditions. They may stop chasing a crankbait, but you know, you're like, man, I'm pretty confident there's fish there. And all you gotta do sometimes is just give them a little different look. One of my favorite things about the Tokyo rig is how versatile it is. You know, I've actually thrown 1.5 ounces on here, and I've thrown an 1/8 ounce weight. You know, you can always change it. It's so universal, whether you're fishing 30 foot of rock or you're flipping 5 foot of grass. It's one of those things you can put any kind of bait you want. I love a speed worm, a Z-crawl, any kind of creature bait. It's basically a harness. You can put anything you want to on it, change your weight style. You slide the weights on the wire, and then you close the wire up. And it's one of those things you better have in your tackle box. And how I like to rig it is I actually use 2 weights at a time. Like say, if I want to rig an ounce weight on there, I'll use 2 half-ounce weights. And the reason for that is I put them on there opposite of each other, where I put the first one on pointing up, and the second one on, I put it actually facing down. That way, it's more of a cylinder shape, and it's very smooth. It's symmetrical, and it goes in the grass and comes out of the grass at just as smooth, where if I had just one weight on there, per se, it would go into the grass, it would fall really well, but a lot of times when you're pulling out, it would snag. So when you use 2 weights, it's smooth on both sides, really comes through there a lot better. And what I do with that is then I grab a pair of pliers with the drop wire and just simply crimp it in, just roll it in just like you would a spinnerbait wire. Close that shut, and that way you can easily open that back up, but that keeps your weights in there locked in place. And the good thing about the Tokyo rig, you can flip it, you can cast it. It's so universal. It's not one of those things you just have to fish it one way. You can fish it around docks, really kind of skip it up under there. And I just love to cast it and fish it identical to a Texas rig. I like to fish it on a pretty beefed up setup. This is a DIAWA 7.6 heavy flipping stick with SUFIX advanced 20-pound fluorocarbon, and this is a DIAWA STEEZ 7-to-1 gear ratio. It's really one of those things that you're laying the meat to them and bringing them into the boat. You know, rod length is everything to me. You know, everybody's got different preferences, and a lot of it has to do with how tall you are. But see, I'm a little bit taller individual, and I prefer a longer rod. You know, that way you can really get leverage on those fish, and you bring them into the boat. Another good bass. That's one thing about a Tokyo rig. It's hard to beat. Whether you're out deep, whether you're shallow, they absolutely get it. One of the most exciting things, I'm telling you, it'll put a smile on anybody's face, whether it's pike, smallmouth, largemouth. It's hard to beat.